where we have two things, where we have vertical translation as well as horizontal translation. So we'll see two examples here as well. All right, so for example 7, you will see that now we can rewrite these as what? We can rewrite these as minus 3/2 sine of 3x plus pi/4, and this is going to be plus 1. So the difference here is that here you have now we have a vertical translation. So if we compare, so now we're going to compare with what? We will compare with y is equals to a sine kx plus b plus a c, right? So you can see, then we can start getting our parameters. Amplitude is going to be absolute value of a, which is absolute value of minus 3/2, which is still going to be 3/2, right? This is our amplitude. And period is 2 pi over k, right? Which is the same thing as 2 pi over, what is k here? K is 3, right? 2 pi over 3. Okay. Now, we discuss about finding the interval. But before we do that, let's find the range, because we will need the range. In this case, the range is going to change. Our range is going to be from using this formula, right? Because now we have a vertical shift. So it's going to be just minus 3/2, right? Plus what is c here? C here is 1. Then 3/2 also plus 1. So it means it's going to go from minus half, right? This is going to be from minus half. And what is this? To 5/2, right? Okay. Now, this is the range. So this is the value of y, not the value of x. So now we need to talk about the interval for values of x as well. What are we going to do here? We already discussed two ways of doing this, but one way to get the interval of x is by setting what you have here, which is you set it between 0 and what? And 2 pi. So now we want to find the interval for x. This is, so this now will be minus pi/4 less than equals to 3x. And this will be less than 2 pi minus pi/4. You can see what we're doing here. And now what will this be? This will be, let's say this, minus still 3x and less than equals to, what do we have here? If you multiply this by 4, you have 8 pi. So this is going to be 7 pi over 4, right? Seven pi over 4. Now divide both side by 3. So this is minus pi over 12 less than x. And this is less than what? 7 pi over what? Over 12. Okay. All right. So this is what we have. So it means our interval is going to be from where? the values of x is going to be from minus pi over 12 to 7 pi over what? Over 12. All right. And now you can see that what is our horizontal shift? Our horizontal shift is going to be just this one, which is minus pi over 12. And we can even find horizontal shift even from the beginning. Remember, how do we find horizontal shift? Let me just do it here. I think we skipped that here. So if we want to find horizontal shift using the formula, is minus b over what? Over k, right? Which is supposed to be minus b. What is our b here? Our b is minus pi over 4. So you have not minus. So you have pi over 4, then divide by what? 3, which is k. And this is going to be minus pi over 12. So this is, you are shifting it to the left. The whole graph is shifted to the left. All right. So it means that we're going to be dealing with these points here. So we're going to be dealing with working with this interval. These are working interval. Our working interval is going to be from minus, please, this is very important. Just follow me. Let's get this together. This is from minus what? Pi over, from minus pi over 6, pi over 12. Minus pi over 12. All right, so here we have to consider this interval, which is from minus pi over 12, right? To what? To 7 pi over 12. So this is the interval that we're interested in. And this interval is the one we have to partition to what? We have to partition this interval into, so let's have something here. We have to partition this interval into 4 equal parts. And one thing here you can see is what is the difference? What is the distance between 7 pi over 12 and what? And minus pi over 2, minus pi over 12. You see, the distance is just going to be what? 7 pi over 12, right? And if you subtract it from where? From this one. So you have minus pi over 12. What do we get? This is just going to be 8 pi over 12. And what is 8 pi over 12? If you divide both sides by 4, you're going to have, divide the numerator and denominator, you have 2 pi over 3, which is nothing but what? The period, right? So you can see, so even when you use this interval, you're still going to get the same period. So this is the period. So the distance between your starting point and your end point must be the same as your period. So which is 2 pi over 3 in this case. Now, how do we split this into 4 intervals? To split this into 4 intervals, there are 2 ways. I think I've mentioned in my previous video, right? One way is for us to what? One way is for us to find the midpoint. So you find the midpoint of this, means you add this and this, divide by what? Divide by. So if you add 7 pi over 12 and minus pi over 12, and you divide by 2, you will get the midpoint, which is going to be 3 pi over 12, right? Now, if you add this 2, look at this, 3 pi plus 7 pi is going to be 10 pi. So you have 10 pi over 12, then everything divided by 2. If you do this, this is going to give us 5 pi over 12. So this is just 5 pi over 12. Then what is the next one left? We're just finding the midpoint or the center. So the midpoint of these 2 numbers, this one is just 3 pi. So you have 3 pi plus what? Minus pi. So it becomes minus pi, everything divided by 12. So you will have 2 pi over 12, right? Then divide this by what? By 2. And this is just become pi over 12. So this is pi over 12, right? Okay, so now we have all the 4 intervals that we are interested in. So let's now, but since this is minus pi, so it means we're going to have something here. 0 is going to be somewhere around here, like this. Okay, so this is our interval. The first interval is from minus pi over 12 to pi over 12. The second is from pi over 12 to 3 pi over 12. And this is the third one, and this is the fourth one. Okay, now, but something interesting here is that remember here in this question, we have a what? We have a vertical translation, C. And what is our C? Our C is 1. So therefore, our baseline is going to be the line y equals to 1. So I need to look for the line y equals to 1. And then let me make it a little bit closer here. So this is the line y equals to 1. So this is our baseline, y equals to 1. And what is the minimum value? The minimum value, remember the range is this. So the maximum value of y is going to be 5 over 2. And the minimum value of y is what? Is minus 1 over 2, right? So this is what we're going to use. All right. So now to plot our points, how do we plot the point? Remember, this is the graph of sine. The graph of sine, we always start from the baseline. Remember, we start from the origin. But in this case, our origin is not 0, 0, but from minus 2 pi over 12. And now, because we have shifted the graph 1 unit up, so this will be our first point. So this is our baseline. We are no longer on the line x is equals to 0. I mean, the line y equals to 0, right? So we start here. And since we are dealing with the graph of sine, remember the graph of sine, once you start from origin, when you move right, you go to 1, right? Just remember, this is the graph of sine. So you start from origin, you go to the maximum, you back to the baseline. Yes, then you go to the minimum, right? So we're going to follow the same pattern. So we start from our origin in this case now is what? Our first point is minus pi over 12. Right. So here we move to the next point, which is pi over 12. So at pi over 12 now, we are supposed to go to the what? To the highest value, right? But because we have a minus, if you look at this minus means you reflect everything across the x-axis, right? So because of this minus, it means we will not go to the maximum, we will go down to the what? Minimum, which is at minus half. Then now at the next point, which is 3 pi over 12, we'll be back to the baseline, which is at 1 here. Then at 5 pi over 12, we will go to the highest point, which is 5 over 2. Then at 7 pi over 12, we'll be back to the baseline, which is this one. So we will have something like this, this, and this one. So this is our graph. So this is the graph of what? This is the graph of minus, is it minus 3 over 2, right? Minus 3 over 2. Then sine of what? Sine of 3x plus pi over 4. Everything plus 1. All right. So I think we have one more to take. Yes, question B. All right. Now, this one, we're still going to follow the same procedure. How do I mean? You just need to rewrite to make things clearer in the form that we like. This, you take this pi inside, which is pi x minus what? Pi over 3 minus 2, right? So we compare it with what? With this one. So we compare with, you compare with y is equals to a cosine kx plus b plus c. Now, this means that the amplitude, which is just absolute value of what? 5 over 4, right? Which is still 5 over 4. And we can talk of period. Our period is going to be 2 pi over k. And this is 2 pi over, what is k here? K is pi, right? So this is just going to be 2, all right? We can find the horizontal asymptote from the formula. It's minus b over k. And this is minus, what is b here? You can see that b is negative, right? If you look at, compare this and this, b is going to be minus pi over 3, right? But everything, again, you divide by k, and k is pi, right? And if you look at this clearly, you will have pi over 3 divided by this, so this will just be 1 over 3. That is the horizontal shift, okay? And remember, another way to get the horizontal shift is just set this one to be 0 and solve for x. Now, let's look at the range. When I say the range now, I mean the value of y. The range is going to be this plus c, then this plus c, right? So this is going to be minus, a is what? 5 over 4, so you have minus 5 over 4 plus c, but our c in this case is minus 2, right? So c is what? Minus 2. So this is going to be minus 2. And also here you have 5 over 4. And here you still have plus minus 2, right? And it means that here you have minus 5 over 4, minus 5 over 4, minus 8 over 4. So this is minus, I think, 13 over 4, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, yes. And here you have 5 over 4 minus 2, right? So you have 5 minus 8. So this is going to be minus 3 over 4. All right, so now let's go and have the interval to work with. So we will have something like this, right? Okay, so now it means we're starting from minus what? Minus 13 over 4, and then it's going to stop. Okay, now this is the range of what? This is the range of y, yes. So we have not gotten the range for x. Now, how do we get the range for x? The range of x, we can set this to be, this is what we have here, this pi over what? We can set it to be between what? Between 0 and then less than what? 2 pi, right? We can use this. Now, once we do it this way, we can solve for x. So this will become minus pi over 3 is going to be less than pi x. And this is less than what? 2 pi plus what? Pi over 3, right? Okay. And now this is nothing but minus pi over 3 less than pi of x and less than what? What is this? This is going to be 3 pi, so this is 7 pi. 7 pi over 3, right? Okay. Now, if you divide both sides by pi, you will just have minus 1 over 3 less than x is less than what? Equals to 7 over 3. So it means that we are going to be dealing with this interval, which is just minus 1 over 3 up to where? Up to 7 over 3. This is the interval we're going to deal with, right? Okay. Now, how can we work with this one? So we need to partition this into what? Into 4 intervals. And remember, how do you partition this to 4 intervals? Just add this 2 divided by 2. Or let me use a different method here. This is which period is this? Remember, this is our period. Our period is 2, right? And you can see that what is the difference, the distance between these two values here? You see 7 over 3 minus what? 1 over 3. What will it become? This you can see, this is just what? 6 over 3, which is 2. So it's the same thing as our period, right? Okay. So this is one complete period from minus 1 over 3 to 7 over 3. Now, to get the partition, you can come to your period. Our period here is what? Is 2. This 2, just do 2 divided by 4, which is equals to what? 1 over 2, right? So this 1 over 2 now, what you can do with 1 over 2, add 1 over 2 to each of this. For example, add 1 over 2 here, you will get the next point. Yes? You get it? So just add 1 over 2. If you add 1 over 2 to this one, so you will have minus 1 over 3 plus what? 1 over 2, right? This is going to be, you multiply this by 3. So 3 by 3, you multiply this by what? 2 by 2, right? So you will have minus 2 plus 3. And that's just going to be 1 over 6. So this, the next one is going to be 1 over 6 is going to be the next value. Then add again this 1 over 2, add again to 1 over 6. So you have 1 over 6 plus what? 1 over 2, right? Here, which is the same thing as 3 over 6, right? So you are going to get what? You are going to get 4 over 6. So this is going to be 4 over 6 here, right? Then to this 4 over 6, add again 1 over 2. 4 over 6, you add 1 over 2. This is something as 4 over 6 plus what? Plus 3 over 6. And you see that this will give you what? 7 over what? 7 over 6, right? Yes, you have 3, so this is 7 over 6. So how many interval do we have now? 1, 2, 3, and what? And 4, right? Is it? So let's see. All right, so I think there is something wrong here with this interval, because if you add to this, you will not get 7 over 3. So let's trace our mistakes. There's a mistake somewhere. Let's see where it is. Now, I think it has to do with the interval itself here, where you have minus pi over 3. If you take it to this side, here is going to be actually positive, right? So you have pi over 3, and I think this is fine. So here is not minus, but it's 1 over 3. So what we have is from 1 over 3, not minus. It's from 1 over 3 to 7 over 3. So this is supposed to be positive. So let's rewrite this interval. So our interval is from 1 over 3 to 7 over 3. And as you can see, the distance here is still a distance of pi, because the difference between 7 over 3 and 1 over 3 is 6 over 3, which is 2, which is the same thing as the period. Now, so we'll do the same thing here. To get the 4 intervals, we divide the period, which is 2 by 4. We have 1 over 2. So you add 1 over 2 to 1 over 3. So you have 1 over 3 to 1 over 2, right? Yeah. So this was going to be 5 over 6. So this is going to be 5 over 6 here. Now, to this 5 over 6, we're still going to add 1 over 2, right? Remember, we divide the period by 4, and which is the same thing as 5 over 6 plus 3 over 6. Yes. And this is nothing but 8 over, is it 8 over 6? Yes. And now to this 8 over 6, we still add half. So we have 8 over 6 plus half. But remember, half is the same thing as what? 3 over what? 3 over 6. And this will give us nothing but what? But 11 over what? Over 6. Now, from this 11 over 6, we also have what? You add half again, which is the same thing as 3 over 6. And you see that this will give us 14 over 6, which is just what? 7 over 3, okay? Which will give us this one. Now you have the 4 intervals already, okay? Okay, now we have these 4 intervals. And this means that 0 is going to be somewhere here. So let's say this is 0. And we have our what? Vertical stretch. Let's say our minimum value. Let's add the minimum value here first. Our minimum value is minus 13 over 4. So minus 13 over 4, let's put it somewhere here. This is our minimum. And our maximum is also a negative value, which is minus 3 over 4, right? But we have a vertical translation, which is a c. And what is that c? Remember that c is minus 2. Our c is minus 2, this one. So what we can do is we just locate a point. We have to locate the line minus 2. If this is minus 3, 3 over 4, this is 0 point something. So minus 2 is going to be somewhere here. So let's call this one minus 2, right? And then we can start sketching. Yeah. So don't forget that, what are we trying to sketch? We're trying to sketch this one, 5 over 4 cosine pi x minus pi over 3 minus 2, right? So it's a cosine graph. Now, since it's a cosine graph, remember, we are not starting from 0. Our first point is what? Is this one, 1 over 3. So at 1 over 3, we are going to go to what? To the maximum, because we are dealing with the graph of what? We are dealing with the graph of, we are dealing with the graph of cosine, yes? So what will be the maximum? So at 1 over 3, you will be at where? Minus 3 over 4. That is the maximum, right? Then at the next point, which is 5 over 6, you will be back to the what? The baseline, which is minus 2. So at 8 over 6, you will go down to the minimum, which is minus 13 over 4, right? Then at 11 over 6, you'll be back to the baseline somewhere here, right? Then at 7 over 3, we'll be back to the maximum again, which is minus. So we will just have something like this, like this, like this. Okay? So this is the graph of 5 over 4 cosine pi x minus pi over 3 minus 2. Okay? And just like we did before, you can take a test point to check if your graph is correct or not. So I think that is the end of this graphing of sines and cosine that involves vertical translations as well as horizontal translation. Our next video will be how to derive the equation from the graph. When you are given the graph of cosine and sine, how do you get the equation from it? So thank you for watching. Feel free to share this with your friends. And if you're new to the channel or you are returning but not yet subscribed, kindly do that. Thank you for watching.